Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see anything on the show, if you have any suggestions or just want to holler at us, leave them in the comments, drop them below on Facebook or on YouTube, or maybe, you know what, hit us in the DMs, holler at us, we holler back. We got a lot to get into. We ran over last week, and I don't want us to run over again. So, you know what? We're going to just jump right into it. But first, let me introduce my co-host. He's the man that has the answers to most of my questions. He's a person I've known for a long time. He's excellent when it comes to sports. You know him. His name is Mr. Steven Rubain. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. I thought you were coming at the great antagonist because I like to antagonize you about the Panthers. We got to talk about that Panther. I call it a game where nobody showed up this week.
Is that the first thing that you wanted to get into? Is
Man,
that the? I mean, we just got on, and you wanted to tell me.
Yeah, because come on, that was embarrassing. You have to, as a Panther fan, people in Buffalo and Cleveland were laughing at you guys. A little bit of rain and 10 people showed up. That's embarrassing.
First of all, who won that game?
I'm gonna get to that in a second, but yeah,
who won that game?
I'm gonna get to that because we got a new coach in the hot seat, Mr. Arthur Smith.
But you answer the question. You like to antagonize and not answer questions. You know that
it was the case. Somebody had to win, and the Panthers pulled it out. But man, that was a horrible game. That was going back to 1972 type of game.
Oh my goodness! It was better than that game where who they only scored 3 points. It was better than that game.
But that game was they had the excuse of snow. I mean, that was in a snowstorm. This game had, it was a good little rain coming down, but come on now. Those offenses were horrible. But we're gonna get to that in a second. I just had to make a fun about the lack of attendance.
No, you had to poke me. You had to poke the bear. It wasn't about nothing else but poke the bear.
They had tickets on sale for 45 cents and people wouldn't buy them. Did you say 45 cents?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this: Cali Cat Pack, Ron Riot, Panther Nation. Since he brought it up, I didn't want to go here, but we here. People are mad at the owner. They want him to take responsibility for what he's done or what he's let happen to our team. We gave away the number one running back in football. Let's think about that. The number one running back in football for Magic Beans. And we got nothing for our Magic Beans.
MVP candidate. You talking about MVP candidate? Christian McCaffrey.
I mean, this is a man that carried our offense for 3 years straight. He was a one-man offense. How do you get rid of a one-man offense when you know you're going after not a running back, but a QB in the draft? How do you do that?
And he was happy in Carolina. That's the crazy part, was that it wasn't like he asked to leave Carolina. He was dumbfounded and shocked that they traded him. That's what makes it so insane, was who made that decision to trade him for Beans when he didn't even want to go.
Good news. It looks like the GM will be getting fired at the end of this season.
Man, he should have been fired so long ago.
I mean,
he's been getting he should get back pay for how long he's been had a job and saying it. But we did get a fire in this week that I've been praying for about almost a year now.
Oh, who got fired?
Brandon Staley for the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, you guys who watch the show, I've been calling for this guy's head ever since he cost me last year in the playoffs. Had a 27-0 lead and found a way to lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars in the playoffs. 27-0 lead in the second quarter.
Kind of sound like the Super Bowl.
Oh my goodness, that was worse.
You remember that Super Bowl?
Yeah. I remember that game.
The conspiracy theorists still having fun with that one.
Oh my God. Just brought bad memories. But yeah, that Brandon Staley had to go along. And then not only did he get fired, but he got the GM fired too. So I always wondered, let me ask you a question. When the GM gets fired like that along with the coach,
right?
Don't the GM probably feel like, man, I should have fired him a long time ago?
But wait a minute, wait. The owner brings in the GM, or does the coach bring in his staff?
Well, no, the GM was there long before the coach. So the coach brought this guy in. This was the coach's hire. So the GM had been there since 2013.
Okay, because
He-
I know that's what I thought. When the coach is there, he normally brings people that has his views, and he puts them all around him.
But he's had like 4 different coaches. That's what I'm saying. This is not his first hire. This is like his 4th hire. So he got to be thinking like, man, I should have got rid of this guy last year. Like, I'll still have my job, but he needed to get fired.
Maybe he wanted a vacation.
Well, he got it. So
because that team has too much talent on it for it to look the way it looks.
Did you enjoy that game? It was 42-0 at halftime. The Raiders look like the beast of burden. They look like it was just a beast team.
The players checked out. They mentally checked out. They weren't there. They had literally put themselves in a different place.
Yeah, it was embarrassing display. Embarrassing. And so the only thing that's happy for me about it is that now that this coach is gone, maybe they'll start using Austin Eckler right, because I need him in my playoff game this week.
Oh man!
So fantasy playoff, yeah.
Hey, you know what? We jumping the gun. Let's get into the news and let them know what's going on.
Let's throw a little NBA before we get to NFL. We can.
We did a lot of NFL.
Yeah, we did a lot.
I think it was a lot of venting going on.
Yeah, we got some more venting to do because we got some interesting things happening.
We got some teams to talk about. We're gonna open these phone lines,
and we got some players to talk about
because we want your opinion on this stuff.
Oh yeah, but NBA. Let's just go over a couple things. First of all, we got one guy leaving and one guy coming back. Let's talk about. We want to go first. You want the guy coming back or the guy leaving? You want to talk about
the guy coming back?
All right, Ja Morant, who's been on a 25-game suspension for whatever reason. He can't seem to put his gun in his pocket.
I hope he's learned his lesson.
My goodness,
he has so much ahead of him.
Ooh, so much talent.
Who are you trying at the point when you've made the money that you're in the money? Who else is there to impress?
I know.
How are you trying to impress people who don't have the type of money you have?
Well, it's old school mentality versus new school. We're gonna get into more detail about old school versus new school mentality. But Ja Morant obviously has this new school mentality about him that needs to be suppressed. And so,
let me give a shout out to first. I got it. Panther Nation in the house. What's up, Glenn White? Oh, yes, sir. Panther Nation in the house. And I got to give a shout out to Darnell, Mr. Bang Bang 49er in the house too.
We're gonna get to the Niners. We got some Niners to talk about. We got quite a bit of Niners stuff to go over. But about that Ja Morant. So he came back against the Pelicans the other day, 27 points in the second half, including the game winner at the buzzer. I mean,
yes, sir.
Talent for days. Just amazing talent.
Oozing with talent.
I mean, they want him to be the new face of the league, but he got to just show that he's serious about it and let the dumb stuff go. So I hope him the best for him. We're gonna hope and pray that he learned from this lesson and he will now going to have a productive.
And Morant, I understand. This is in your free time, but you work for an organization that doesn't go for that. So therefore, you got
a league. The whole league don't go for it. I mean, it's the NBA has made it a point for many, many, many years that we're going to stay away from that thug life mentality. We don't want that to be our image in our league. I mean,
hey, it's a change in NBA. It's a change in league, and they don't want it, Mr. Morant.
Don't want it.
You got to, you can go to any type of gun. You can build one at your house.
But don't go on social media with it.
And fire guns all you want to.
Right, don't go on social media.
Well, the last time wasn't his fault. He had some people in his camp that was recording him.
You're a grown man.
You got to get rid of people.
I mean, that's part of being an adult. You got to make choices. And so let's wait and see. But then somebody else needs to make some more choices. Is Draymond Green.
Well, see, all that coincides together, and I'm glad you brought that up. And to talk about Ja Morant and Draymond, the NBA let this go on for years.
Well,
they let it go on for years to where it was okay till it wasn't okay when it shouldn't have been okay in the first place. They let this man act a fool for how long?
Well, this goes back to that whole thing about the new school versus old school mentality we were talking about. Like, we're talking about Ja Morant with this new school mentality. Now, Draymond Green is trying to bring out the old school mentality of the old NBA, where it was rough and tumble, and you had enforcers, and he goes back and said, well, back in the day, what I did was nothing. We had guys who were like clocking people left and right, and da-da-da-da.
And that's what Draymond said?
Well, I mean, I'm just paraphrasing mentally.
Right.
Because we're talking about the mentality of Draymond. Draymond Green mentally sees himself as an enforcer.
Well,
he sees himself as what he's doing.
The NBA was quite okay with everything he was doing.
But he took it too far.
His mistake was that chokeout.
Yeah, the chokeout.
Because the last thing he did, now, no,
come on. That's not acceptable.
It didn't look like he was just trying to just clear his clock.
No.
It did look like he was trying to still throw them bowls, but
yeah.
I don't think he meant that the way it turned out. But it was blown up because of the chokeout.
Because of the chokeout. But I mean, blown because of the history of doing stuff like this. It's not just one thing. It's like you said, over and over and over and over.
If it's a history, that means you let it go on.
Well, let it go on because
and they sent the wrong information in, because guess what? Who got suspended? John Morant for waving a gun, right?
Right, 25 games.
What happened to Draymond Green for putting hands on people repeatedly?
Well, as of now, nothing. But now
exactly. So the NBA sent that information to let everybody know. We let some stuff slide because it's okay. They don't want to be considered, I guess, too fairy tale, too light.
Well, I think it's also the team he plays for. Golden State's kind of been like the golden child of the league the last 10 years or so. So I think
golden child of the league.
They're the golden child of the league in the sense of the perception is
Steph Curry's the golden child.
Well, but I'm saying, and that goes in that whole argument. Why didn't Steph Curry step in and get him straight? Because he is the golden child. He is the leader of that team. The leader of the team is supposed to step in there and tell Draymond, "Hey, you need to stop." And nobody, and that was an argument that came out.
So the league said the leader of the Golden State Warriors was supposed to step in and tell his player, his friend, he shouldn't be doing that over the NBA. They should have said something from the first, second, third, fourth, fifth time.
Well, from a team, I'm talking about from a team perspective. If you're on a team, the team leader has to keep his players in check. I mean, that goes back all the way to any organization, any league. You got a team leader, and the team leader has to be responsible for make sure that it's not the NBA's responsibility to keep a player in check. It's the team's responsibility to do it. Now the team is
the organization and the league in the whole. Mm-hmm. When after the first time the team didn't say nothing, the second time the team didn't say nothing, third time the team didn't say nothing.
But he's been suspended multiple times. I mean, numerous times he's been suspended. They've done suspensions. They've done all that stuff with him.
How many games did they do for John Morant for his second violation, waving the gun? How many games was it?
Okay, but see,
how many games was it?
Yes, but you're comparing two totally different things. The NBA has made clear guns is just something they're never going to go with. That's just unacceptable under any circumstance.
I get what you're saying, but how many times did it take for them to put their foot down?
But
how many times did it take?
2 times.
Now I get what you're trying to put, but what you're trying to say. But guess what? Draymond Green, he got suspended how many times?
But once again, multiple times, many times.
So they never put their foot down on that.
No, because
Steph Curry's supposed to put his foot down.
Yes, because fighting is something that the NBA has always been tolerable for. Let's go back. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, that old school versus new school mentality. Let's go back. Remember when Shaq and Andrew Bynum got into it?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And you remember when Bynum dunked on Shaq and he came down the court and then Shaq gave him a forearm shiver?
Okay.
And then just like, okay, well, Shaq, you gone for the day. And he come back next game. I mean, the NBA used to always be that way where guys would get into fights and it was just like, okay, you might suspend you for that game, and then next game you come back. I mean, the NBA has always had that mentality of being tolerable of fights.
And I get that, and I'm not questioning that.
Now,
all I'm
Draymond,
saying is they set the tone for what they said it was okay. They said it was okay, basically.
But you just said it earlier, though. It was okay until he choked out Rudy Gobert. Then he took it too far.
Yeah.
But that's the mentality.
Foot should have been put down a long time ago.
But you can't say both, though. The NBA has made it clear that we'll tolerate some fighting, but you just can't sit there and just choke a guy out. Your coach is sitting there telling you get off him, and you're going to sit there.
It shouldn't be any toleration.
But
if there's an issue, there's an issue. You nip it in the bud. You don't let it go on and then be like, I'm mad at you. We said it was okay until it wasn't.
But
this time you went too far.
But see, but that goes into a whole other argument. Then
Yeah.
that's a whole other story.
But then it also goes into officiating the way these things are being ran,
Right.
and we still want officiating to be brought to be made better. And if we keep going with this thinking of, all right, you know what, in this game a hold is this, and in this game pass interference is this,
Right.
but then the next game, oh, we're not tolerating that. Come on, man, you got to have, it has to be straight across the board. We have to understand what is what.
You and I have had this argument. We totally agree on that 100%. It should be across the board, but unfortunately it isn't, and it doesn't seem like it's going to be that way anytime soon.
Glenn White said the Pelicans are fed up with Zion's weight.
But that's all, yeah. Zion's weight, well, we had this talk. Did we talk about this a couple weeks ago? We brought up about Zion that
he reminds me of Jamarcus Russell.
When a guy makes all that money, he can have his own personal chef to go and cook his meals for him, have a whole dietary plan. There's no excuse for being overweight in the NBA today's. No, it's not.
The excuse is he's never had money. He got money, and he doesn't have a good camp behind him where he's listening to somebody who's making some sense. When you put you give a kid some money,
right,
and then you tell a kid to act right, who's crazy?
Okay, but that goes again to that whole mentality of that there's no leadership on that team. Nobody sitting here and getting in his face and say, man, you need to stop. You need to get yourself in order. Remember the whole issue with Kobe and Shaq when Shaq was and Kobe sat up there and said, I'm not tolerating you being overweight, blah, blah, blah. That's leadership. There's nobody on the Pelicans, obviously, who don't have the leadership to sit there with Zion and say, man, you're too talented of a player to let your career go to waste, because it's going to catch up with your needs at some point if you
I totally agree with that, but this is where you get to the old NBA to the new NBA.
Yeah, and that's been our
the old NFL to the new NFL.
And that's been our discussion.
Players are different. They're built different these days.
And we're going to get into that in a few minutes, talking about George Pickens. That's going to be our big topic today, about old school versus new school mentality, because this one is crazy by even my definitions.
But
crazy.
This is the thing. This is why you can't compare errors.
No.
Because the way things were perceived back then, it used to be okay for the bad boys to get in there. You expected the bad boys to come to a game and there was going to be some dirty stuff going on, and the referees were going to let it slide because they were in there on their home court.
Right.
You expected that type of stuff.
But that's what I'm saying.
Not in this day.
The NBA sold it. I mean, but remember, the NFL also sold hits across the middle. They sold cheap shots. They sold all that stuff.
I mean, hey, you used to get a bump for not clearing somebody's clock.
You were praised for
long as you dislodged the ball from their hands.
You were praised for being a guy like that. I mean, go back to the old Raiders with Haynes and Lester Hayes. I mean, that was the NFL was proud of how they played.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, yeah.
It wasn't until that CTE study came out.
Right.
And then they started being held accountable to where people are like, well, wait a minute, we need to do things a little bit different so they know our mentality is different.
Exactly. No, it's totally hypocrisy.
Yeah. It's the way things are written up.
Right.
So when lawyers come out, you can't sue because this is written this way.
Right. Well, yeah. They're going to do whatever they can to get away with what they can get away with. Remember that whole thing? Remember last year with DeMar Hamlin when he got hurt?
Oh, man.
There was that whole thing. And
I'm so happy that guy's okay.
Right. But they so about how, oh, my God, we're going to make all these changes and blah, blah, blah. And remember, there was this whole out of control. We need to change how we see it. What happened?
He got seen anything.
Nothing. They just went ahead and just let it ride out, and he's back. And I mean, like I said, thankful he is healthy. But
we have a sport in the NBA which makes what? How many billions of dollars?
Billions.
Like 60 billion a year?
Billion. Yeah, at least.
And the NFL makes more than that, right?
Yeah. Well, the NFL makes a lot more than NBA.
Now, explain to me. My plan was, and riddle me this to everybody watching out there. Why don't players have their own hospital? Why don't players and retired players have their pension set up to where they go to their own hospitals, not to a hospital where regular people go to, but a players' hospital, which has specialists to deal with their type of injuries. So when they go in, it's just like when we go in for a cold or something. The specialist knows what's going on, and he gets the immediate treatment that he needs, not where he's going to a doctor's or we go to, and he has to be sent to a specialist. These players have played at a high level, need to be already into it with a specialist.
Too much like
as soon as they walk in.
It's a great idea. Too much like right. The NFL. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, the NFL talks about caring about player safety, but they really don't care about player safety. They care about whatever they can do to make the most money they can make, and so they're going to do.
I don't mind somebody making the money, but when all this money is there and then all this money is generated, the people who put their blood, sweat, and tears into this need to be taken care of.
But the NFL has that next player up mentality. They'll sit there and they'll tell you
since we have basketball, NFL, all these different,
right?
If all the money that's generated, a piece is taken from each one, it's a players' hospital for players. Once you have your Players Association card, you go in there, you get checked out.
But you also get into a whole nother argument that you're acting like all these leagues care about each other. They don't work together. The NBA and the NFL don't care about working together with each other. What you're saying is great in theory, but
to be realistic, the NBA can have the NBA players hospital, and the NFL can have. They can have separate ones. It just needs to happen.
It needs to happen, but once again, they're not going to do it. The players have to do it themselves. They would have to do it because the NFL would never invest money.
But the players have an association that can lobby for this.
Yeah,
I'm just putting it in the air. Just putting it in the air. That's all I'm saying.
I like the idea, but like I said, the NFL is never going to do something like that, and they're never going to agree to something like the players because their mindset is player gone, next player come up. There's always going to be a replacement. So that's just the NFL mentality.
Well, that was just a little bit just getting into these.
We kind of digressed. We got a little sidetrack, a little digression, but it did tie us into the NFL.
Something that needs to be said.
Yeah, something needs to be said because our theme seems to be this week old school versus new school mentality, and so tying that into the NFL. Sorry, tying it into the NFL. We have a player for the Steelers called George Pickens.
Yes. Let's bring George Pickens into focus and blow the whistle on him.
Yes. Oh my goodness, blow it 3 times. Yes, George Pickens is a rookie wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he's been having.
They're number one at that.
He's their number one receiver. He's their most talented receiver. Let's just leave it at that. That he's somebody. The Steelers are a team that consistently every year always manages to stay above 500, be in the playoff race, no matter who they have at quarterback, the situation. He's been having some issues with his maturity and understanding. I call it that new school mentality versus that old school. The new school mentality is these players come in, they're already set financially, and they kind of have a mindset of, I need to protect my interests. I need to protect myself. And I mean, I can understand. I definitely can understand and respect that to a level. I mean,
you got to respect
yourself. You got to,
no matter what the sport,
right? Safety
when you get hurt, they like next man up.
Exactly, and that's where the challenge comes with the old school, new school mentality. Is every player should care about their safety. They should care about how they protect themselves. But I think the thing is that you just can't say it out loud. When you say it out loud, then that gets into several different worms. One is the team, because it is a team sport.
Right.
How is your teammates going to look at you?
Well, what did he do, Steve?
All right. Well, in the game, I think it was Warren, the running back, was running for a touchdown up the middle. Pickens was ahead of him, and he needed to make a block on one of the safety guys to allow Warren to get into the end zone. Pickens just stood there and did nothing. He literally just stood there like a statue and watched as the guy got tackled at the 2-yard line.
Oh, my goodness.
So when addressed with the situation, he did 2 things. Let's talk about the 2 things he did.
What was the first thing he did wrong?
Well, the first thing he did was he took defense to it in the sense of saying, I'm tired of these people who never played in the NFL to sit there and criticize us as players. You know, all these people who are so-called experts who never played in the game. How dare you tell us about our, health and safety, blah, blah, blah. That seems to be a new thing now in the NFL. I think it's kind of a new thing in the whole country now. It's like attack on the media.
There you have it. Because you was like to say NFL. I'm like, no, that's just how players are now.
Right. But it's becoming a thing, not just like I said, throughout the country, but it's now starting to hit sports as well. It's this whole thing of us versus the media. And this whole, you guys don't care about us, blah, 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 blah. The media has a job to do. Their job is to critique and report and criticize players.
And to make a story out of nothing.
Make a story out of nothing. Well, call it nothing or something. They're going to make a story.
Yeah.
remember, I mean, good news or bad news is still news, and so they're going to do whatever you do. They're going to break it down, play by play. They're going to scrutinize everything.
Everybody wants views,
right? And like I said, in this day now where cameras are everywhere, every play you're on the field, if you don't do something, somebody's going to see it and somebody's going to critique on it.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, this was a clear case where you could just sit there and literally just watch him watching the play as his player is getting tackled. So that's the first thing, was his attack on the media. And we're going to get to that in a second because we're going to talk about another Steeler player, ex-Steeler player, Rashard Mendenhall, who made an even more controversial statement.
About the play?
No, about something different. We're going to get to that in a second. But I'm going to just tie in because they kind of tied together about the attack on the media. And so, second thing that Pickens did was he came out and made it clear. He said, look, I don't want a Tank Dell situation. So Tank Dell, what happened to him was he was in a play where it was on the goal line and they were doing a push, almost like a tush push. And he got rolled up from behind and hurt his leg, and he's out for the year.
Yeah.
So Pickens said, I don't want to have a play like that where I'm going to put myself in a situation where I can get hurt by trying to block this guy, and then the guy rolls up from behind and takes my leg out.
Me.
Yeah, it's me, number one. And then number two, like I said, in a team sport, if I'm a teammate, I don't want to hear you say that. That's not what I need to hear you say, especially when we lose the game.
But that's to let you know where we at. How is he so comfortable
in
a game that you're supposed to block for people, that you're supposed to set a block up when you see your player coming? How do you feel so comfortable and at ease with saying something like that when this is part of the game?
Because there's a new school mentality. That's my argument about the new school versus the old school mentality. You had guys, we grew back in the time in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. You had guys playing with broken legs. Jack Youngblood in the Super Bowl, whose leg was broken, arms, fingers. And they're like, oh, it's a Super Bowl. I'm not missing this game. I'm going to do whatever it takes.
Rub some dirt on it and get back out there.
And get on. That was the old school mentality. And nowadays, these guys are like, man, I got a big contract. I mean, we've criticized several quarterbacks. I'm not going to call them out by name today, but quarterbacks who kind of like, I could play, but I sit out this game. That's just I could play, but I'll sit out.
Can you be mad? Us as fans, we can be mad because when you pay for that ticket, you want to see that person on the field. We've made this argument before.
Right. But not just the fan, but I'm talking about for the team. You got teammates who are also like, we're in a playoff race. And I'm watching a Monday night game and you practice all week, you're sitting on the sidelines, but you're not playing.
It happens in the NBA all the time.
Happens in the NBA all the time.
Don't they get personal days now?
Yeah, well, they get personal days, and that's a whole other stuff. But that's what I'm saying. This is the new school mentality now, where these guys now are just taking the mindset of, if I play, I play. If I don't play, oh well.
When White says Lonnie Lott lost a finger and still played.
Yeah, Ronnie Lott was just insane. How dedicated he was to the game, and how, I mean, he went out there with no other mentality but to take you out.
Let's open these phone lines while you go.
Go ahead, let's do that. Because we need to talk about this stuff, because while you're opening the lines up, go ahead and get the number.
The number is 1-909-844-4443. We're just talking about, a plethora of different things, but right now we're on the NFL.
Yes, and I was bringing up Rashard Mendenhall. For those who aren't familiar, Rashard Mendenhall was a pretty solid running back for the Steelers for quite a number of years. I had him on my fantasy team for a couple times. I'm not going to lie to you. He was one of my fantasy players back in the day, but he played on the Steelers team that won the Super Bowl. I think the last one they won. He's come out and he's took it a step further. I mean, this came out before this situation with but he said that he's tired of these white media guys who never played anything in football, who don't know nothing about football, coming out and making these comments against us. And he proposed a racially motivated Pro Bowl, black versus white, and said that I would be an MVP if I had to go up against a game of white players.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's taking it a whole new level. And so, yeah, I mean, if he was still playing in the league, you would almost assume he'd be suspended. But since he's an ex-player, where do you go with that? It's just kind of like I'm looking right now and
unnecessary.
It's unnecessary.
What is that about?
Yeah, I mean, it's unnecessary.
Who's he mad at, really?
Yeah. Exactly. Who's he mad at?
Now we know there's a lot of racially motivated things, but this is a sport. This is stuff that it shouldn't be there. We
Right.
know it's prevalent when it comes to certain issues, but that's a separate issue that needs to be brought up in the Players Association also,
Exactly.
and it needs to be addressed. These are easy things, but
it's an old school versus new school mentality. These guys are coming out with just.
But that's an old school person though.
Yeah, he's not that old school. I mean, he played within the last 5-10 years.
Okay.
You know.
So he was there when this whole move started coming up.
Yeah.
And he's probably one of the innovators of this whole mood, this whole funk that we're in.
Right.
Where players, prima donnas, don't. This week,
that's what I'm saying. It's a me mentality, right? It's a me mentality, and it's like I said, it's unnecessary. Number one, and number two, it's just what's this attack on the media type stuff? I mean, media guys are guys who are, like you said, little white guys who never play in the NFL, but their job is to stir up a media. I mean, they're trying to make it interesting, make it exciting, make us want to watch the games. That's their job. They're doing their job.
And find the story and make it meaningful when you watch the game.
And quite frankly, they're putting money in your pockets because the stories that are coming out make you interesting and make people want to go out and buy your stuff, make you want to put you in commercials and stuff. You don't think all this
marketing.
You don't think all this Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift stuff has not done a ton of money for not just them, but for the Chiefs, for the whole NFL. I
wonder how much our ticket sales that went up since this happened.
Oh, sure. Twofold. And think about all the jerseys they probably sold. People who would never buy a Travis Kelce jersey might buy one because he's with Taylor Swift and I'm a Swiftie, and so I want to buy it.
1-909-844-4443. Go ahead and call in.
Yeah, so that's just, with this old school versus new school mentality, I don't know where it's going to go, but it's starting to get more and more, like I said, out there and getting more and more complex. And so I don't know where to go with it. But it's just we got to talk about injuries, because this time of year it's just so many teams got injuries.
And people playing with injuries, playing through the pain.
And
back in the day, they used to get that cortisone shot.
The cortisone shot and call it a day.
Be drugged up, be out there laying hits.
Yes.
And just tearing their little bodies up.
Exactly. But these guys nowadays, some guys still have it, and some guys are just like, I'm good. I'll sit this one out. So
hey, you can give me a contract. I'll come back and play.
Yeah, you go. I mean, you and me both. I would love to play. But we got some guys who may be out. Jamar Chase for the Bengals. That's a big one for you fantasy guys who are in your fantasy semifinals.
I didn't touch him this year.
I didn't touch him either. I have no team, so thank God. But
I had a feeling, but
the guy I'm going up against, two of the guys I'm going up against have him. So I'm like, man, not that I want you to get hurt, but
never want anybody to get hurt. But when you're playing for this money, you wouldn't mind if you just go take a vacation.
Yeah, you don't need
a vacation.
You got to separate the shoulder. You don't need to go out there and risk your career for that. So so he's taking the week off, hopefully. But but it's still, they haven't marked him out completely out yet. They want to wait and drag it out because he's too big of a player for the Bengals, who are still holding on to a playoff spot.
Now, while we waiting on the phone call, let's let we know the topics. Let's start getting into some of these teams. Let's unfold these teams and the way they playing now. Now we went back. We did our top five. Hold on, we got a call coming in.
Yeah,
Brothers of Sports. Who's calling?
This is Mr. 49 himself.
Bang, bang, Niner gang in the house.
Oh, yeah.
In the house.
How you feeling about yourselves right now, sir?
Oh, I'm feeling great.
You on cloud 9?
I'm
on cloud 38.
Oh, I love it.
I'm on cloud 38.
Can we get Packard to officially say you guys are the number one team in the league now? Because he's been treading water. He won't officially come on and say that you guys are right now number one.
We just got to this week.
Yeah, but the last several
weeks,
they
are officially number one right now. They made it to number one.
Okay.
You want me?
I want you to say they're officially the number one team.
Let me point something out.
Yes.
The San Francisco 49ers are 11-3.
Yes, they are.
The teams behind them are the Detroit Lions at 10-4.
Right.
The Philadelphia Eagles at 10-4. The Cowboys at 10-4.
Right.
We have the Kansas City Chiefs at 9-5.
Okay.
We have the Ravens at 11-3.
Correct. And they're number 2 now.
And we have the Miami Dolphins at 10-4.
Yes.
Now, the 49ers are number 1. It won't be solidified until they play the Baltimore Ravens. And they are playing the Baltimore Ravens.
Christmas Day.
Oh,
That's true.
Christmas Day is gonna be the highlight of the week, the last game of the week.
It's gonna be the highlight of the week. It's not gonna be a blowout. It's gonna be a close game, but
Yes.
I already got the score.
All right.
that's this week.
It's 28.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 28-24.
And then
Okay.
we will have a clear number 1.
Oh yeah, no, I'm saying right now the Niners are number 1, but they are playing number 2, the Ravens. And like you say, you just mentioned 28-24 Niners.
The
Okay.
Ravens and the Niners are not in the same division.
But that doesn't matter. When
Both
you talk about
of
top
them-
5, it's the same. It's all the teams. This is the best team in the league.
Well, you know, and I respect the way you guys think, but the way
And
I
then on
think,
top of
when
that,
I see 11-3 and 11-3, I say they're tied until the tiebreaker, unless they were in the division, and then we go by strength of the record,
Right.
within the division of what they play. But right now, 11-3 is 11-3 to me.
Okay, so you want to do 1 and 1A? All right, so he wants to do 1 and 1A. So we got Niners and Ravens at 1 and 1A. But I can live with that since they are playing each other this week. So I can live with putting them as 1 and 1A.
We want a clear, uncut number 1. Don't you want to be clear and uncut,
Okay.
Darnell? Don't you?
Exactly.
Okay, so
Exactly.
so we'll put them as 1 and 1A. I can live with that. So we got Ravens and
I can go for that. I
Yeah.
can go for that.
we got Ravens and Niners at 1 and 1A. Now the big question is going to be, who are we putting at number 3? Who's your number 2? Who's your number 3 team?
The number
Ooh.
Because as you just mentioned, you got the Dolphins, you got the Eagles, and you got the Cowboys all at 10-4. Is there one other team? Or is it just those 3?
No, the Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, I said Dolphins.
The Miami
Eagles and
Dolphins
Cowboys.
moved to 3, and the Eagles moved to 4.
But based on your argument, they all got the same record. They're
Yeah.
all 10-4.
Right?
So who's going to be
10-4.
number 3 then?
You still
Well,
you still
it would have to be the Eagles because they have a better record than the Cowboys.
Well,
And then
no,
you have-
they had the
it's
same record.
Miami.
do they have the same record?
it's Miami.
It's Miami.
Yeah.
It's Miami,
Oh, okay.
Eagles, then Cowboys.
Okay.
All right.
go for
But
that.
like you said, you know, you don't get that clear and uncut until they play each other.
But remember, can we
They have
still
to
put
separate from each other.
can we still put the Cowboys in the top 5 when they can't win a road game for their life?
No, I don't think so.
They can't win a road game for their life. I mean, and not just they just can't win a road game; they're getting killed on the road.
Well, I'm just only going off of what people would do. I'll give you. Let me give you my top 5 so we understand each other. It'll be 49ers, Baltimore Ravens, and then what did I say? 49ers, Baltimore Ravens,
Right.
then
Miami.
Miami, then Detroit, then the Philly, then the Cowboys.
Okay.
That's what it would go for me.
Now Miami
I
does
agree-
play
I
Dallas.
agree
You
with
agree?
that.
Now Miami does play
I
Dallas
agree
this
with
week, so that's in Miami. So Dallas goes to Miami. So
Hey, Dallas,
think-
they
I
can
think
take a step
Miami
back
gonna-
up.
I think Miami gonna beat the Cowboys.
yeah,
I have that feeling.
I got
also.
Miami as well. But I'm saying Dallas has not won a meaningful road game all year.
Dallas is one of those teams, when they get in a funk, they can go into a stadium and be better than the team and still put up a stinker because, you know, Dak Prescott, he be baking them turnovers.
Yeah.
Hey, we have a call coming in, Darnell. Thank you for calling in. Let's get to this next call. But we love you. Support, man.
Good luck for the Niners this week.
Keep supporting and go
All right.
49ers.
Go Niners.
49ers.
Brother with some sports. Who's calling? Brother with some sports. Hello.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
All right.
What's going on? Who's calling?
This is Glenn White.
Oh, what's up, sir? Panther Nation.
We got a
Yes,
Panther fan.
sir.
Oh, good. I'm glad to get a Panther fan on here. Can Are you a real Panther fan, or are you like Packett, a denial Panther fan?
Whoa,
I need a real Panther fan to call in.
What do you mean, a real Panther fan or a denial? What are you talking about?
A real Panther fan is
Right here.
honest about the Panthers, not like you who living in a fantasy land.
Well, first of all, when me and Glenn talk,
Yeah.
we are honest.
Okay.
But you are not a Panther fan, so when you spew hate, we can't agree with you, sir.
I don't hate the Panthers at all. Actually,
I know.
listen to me. I liked your Panther team last year. Remember, we were on the show. I thought you guys had promise when you had Baker Mayfield, who by the way, Baker Mayfield was the first quarterback in NFL history to have a perfect rating at Lambeau Field last week. The first in history of the NFL.
Oh my goodness.
You have Baker Mayfield at quarterback, Christian McCaffrey as your number one wide receiver, and you had DJ Moore as your number one wide receiver. I said McCaffrey's number one running back, and DJ Moore is your number one wide receiver. Who gives that up but the Panthers?
Well,
Glenn, forgive him.
For nothing. What's that? For nothing. You let Mayfield walk. You traded McCaffrey for nothing, and you threw DJ Moore into one of the worst trades in the history of the NFL.
You act like we don't see that.
But but I'm saying, is he going to talk real about it, or are you going to be like you sitting here talking about, well, in 2 years we should be good?
First of all, Glenn, where you calling from, sir?
Yeah.
Well, I originally resides. I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, man.
Yes,
right.
sir.
Well, I'll be out near your way. I'm going to Carolina this week, so I'll be in Winston-Salem.
Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina. Yes, sir.
I'll be in Charlotte this weekend for my birthday, man.
Happy early birthday, first of all. Happy early birthday. I love going to Charlotte. Listen, I hate your airport. I'm going to tell you right now. Charlotte Airport, I hate that airport with a passion. Oh, my goodness.
Oh man.
It's a horrible airport.
I agree with you.
Yeah, that's a horrible airport. It's a ghetto airport. I'm going through, you know how you got the things, the little slide alongs, you go.
Yeah.
Half of them don't work. I'm in it going there, visit the family. I got to go catch a flight. I got to go from one line and transfer to the other flight, and all the way in a whole different terminal. So I look from like Terminal D to Terminal B.
They were getting fixed, Steve. They were getting fixed.
As much as the airport is made, they should never have a thing broken. I mean, in the middle of the day, they're not working. So yeah, I had miserable memories of Charlotte Airport. I'm just going to let you know. But let's go back to the Panthers.
But Glenn, what's your opinion, sir? Let him before you.
I need the voice of reason.
Before you beat him up, let him speak, man. Let him speak.
No, I said he's probably the voice of reason. I need your. Please give me some reason, some honesty about the Panthers.
Me and Mr. Wayne, we talk about this, man.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, man, I mean, I'm the own critic, man. I tell you how I feel about the Panthers, man. And it starts with the front desk. The front, not the front desk, the front office.
Well, it starts with the owner. The guy starts
front office.
Well, no, that's the front office. Owner's not the front office. The front office is the GM and the people who work under him. The owner is the owner. He dictates everything else. Everything is it's 3 tiers. You got the owner, then you got the front office, and then you got the players and coaches.
Right.
Well, everything starts with him.
Everything starts with him.
The GM.
Yeah.
Yeah, it starts with him. You got the GM and you got the player development. But you can't find players with the level 1 talent. We find average talent.
Well, no, but you guys had good talent. But that's what I'm saying. You guys had level 1 talent. You had the guy who's going to be the MVP of the league as your star running back, who wanted to be in Carolina.
And the thing is, it seems like our team is scared to go after star talent. Like DeAndre Hopkins, I can't say it enough. He lobbied to come to Carolina. He said something about Carolina, and we did nothing to go get him.
Nope.
Adam Thielen has been a boost for us, and I appreciate Adam Thielen to the fullest. But my goodness, you don't let the Terrence Marshall Jr. Get enough time in the game, and he doesn't get targets like he should. And we need a breakaway person, and Hopkins would have been a perfect fit here.
Well.
Let me get back with a McCaffrey. I mean, we not did right with McCaffrey. We run like a running back. He's not a everyday running back. He was a finesse running back.
Yep.
Right.
Like a wide receiver. We never use him right. and we ran him to the ground with injuries, and which we should keep him because we done pay him a lot of money, man.
Isn't it amazing though? In the 2 years since he's been gone, he's been almost injury free. He's whatever little injuries he gets, he's out for maybe a half a game and he's back in.
They're using him
Isn't that
right.
amazing? Isn't that amazing how that
They're
goes?
using him right.
They're using him
They use
right.
him right.
We talked about this when he was on our team. But
They didn't use McCaffrey right, man.
that goes with having horrible offensive coordinators,
Right.
and the coach doesn't have a backbone to let the offensive coordinator know he's being horrible. You don't use your best weapon like that. It's just like our weapon now. You got him out there, you throw him to the wolves, you don't give him the help he needs around him, and you won't pull him and put Andy Dalton in so he can learn the plays. Don't you think it would be a big help to Bryce Young for him to know all the plays and know how to call the plays himself for next season? My goodness, take the man out the game and put Andy Dalton in so he can call audibles, he can call plays. They can show him how the game should be run, and he can see it from the outside looking in.
He never should have been put in the first place.
You know the two things what happens?
Mm-hmm.
We don't use all our picks for Bryce Young.
No.
You know, we're gonna use every game he played, we're gonna see, use that pick. Because we not trade a pick, second ball, we bench him. We don't know how he will become less confident. We might tear him down already. That's two things.
But let me ask you a question though. Do you think he's more torn down now because he's been set up to fail? You got people of your fan base who are like, "This guy's a bum. Why didn't we get C.J. Stroud?" Blah 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 blah. He's been put in that position to look bad. If I said from the start of the season, do not put this guy in because your team's not good enough. Why would you make him look bad?
See, Frank Rich, that's not his guy, man. It was C.J. Stroud was his guy.
Right, it was his guy. But that's what I'm saying. It starts at the top. Why would you hire Frank Reich if you didn't already have it made in your decision who you were going to go as your quarterback? Why would you hire somebody who you don't agree with? The owner wanted Young. The coach wanted Stroud. Why would you hire him? You could have stayed with
I agree.
Yeah, you could have stayed with Wilkes. Wilkes would have taken whoever the coach wanted to have him and kept the defense straight. You guys would be in a better position because your defense would have been straight. And at least Bryce Young had chances to win games because your defense was strong. Your defense is horrible this year, and your offense.
And Latham Hillian on YouTube said, "You're right, Packett. Jalen Hurt had to sit on the bench to learn.
Had to sit on the bench to learn. Yeah,
that's facts. That's facts.
I mean that's the old school mentality. Rookie quarterbacks used to have to sit if you weren't ready or the team wasn't ready.
But now we put him in, and they clearly see that he's ready, but the team is not ready. Let's get it straight.
Right.
He's ready. The team is not ready. He is not set up the way he left from college to come to the NFL, and he's been dealt a bad hand. And now we have to polish up the hand to make him look better. Right. But you don't risk him getting hurt. We are not playing for anything. Put Andy Dalton in these last few games and give Bryce Young, let him call plays with the play caller. Let him learn the plays where they can do situational football and be like, look, Bryce, in this situation, this is what you should do while you're on the field. You look and see and check and check the audible. You can kill a play. This is how you do this.
Right.
All mentoring, but that's all what a real coach would do.
But the problem now is that you got a temporary coach in. He wants to win games because he wants to keep his job. He wants to try to compete to think he can be the coach next year. So he's not going to want to do that. So
clearly he didn't see what happened to to the guy last season that got us up to 6 wins.
Yeah, but it's always that mentality. You always think you have a chance. So, yeah.
But, Glenn, thank you for calling in. We got another caller calling in.
Yeah,
please call back and thank you for your support, man. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Much love, man.
Much love for you, too.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna.
All right, man.
I'm a Panther fan. I hate to say he's not a Panther fan. I hate the Panthers.
Blow Up Sports. Who's calling? Uh-oh.
We think we lost.
We lost him. But go ahead and call back. While you're making your phone call back, we've talked a little bit about the 49ers, was it?
Yeah, we talked about the Niners. We mentioned about like I said, we'll put the Niners and Ravens at tied at 1.
Right.
I'll go with Miami at 3 for now. If they knock off Dallas, they should be the clear number 3. And then, like you mentioned, you said Lions 4. I can live with Lions as 4, and then Eagles 5. That's a fair. I'll go with that top 5.
Blow the Whistle Sports. Who's calling?
You got Lamont, man.
Oh,
what's up, Lamont? How you doing? Where you calling from again?
I'm calling from Dallas, Fort Worth.
I feel
LA though.
I feel you.
LA,
I feel
Dallas,
from you though. I feel for you being in Dallas.
Are you still wearing your Eagles hat in Dallas?
Oh, all day.
Okay.
Had they been giving you a rough time now that they moved to number 1?
Oh, 100%. But I'm not disturbed. Like, yeah, we definitely stumbled, and like, we haven't been playing the same ball that we started out the season with. And like, yeah, it's definitely been people talking mess. We've been going back and forth because they got that ass whipped by the Bills, But I'm just like, bro, like, love Jalen Hurts, amazing quarterback. He definitely, his maturation has been, it's been great. But one of the things that I've always said is that some of his decision making, even during his time of like when he first came into the league and when he first became a starter, it was like, some of his decision making is kind of bad. Like, he's just throwing the ball or holding on to it too long. And I feel like that what he just did with the Seahawks, like, that was this bad play, like bad decision making. Like, with 11 yards left to kick the field goal to go into OT, like, you either, like he did in the beginning, he ran and used his legs, used his strength, run the ball, and he was able to make the continue the drive. But instead of doing that again, he just tosses one up, Hail Mary, close your eyes, and throws a pick versus getting the 11 yards to get into field goal range to go into OT. So I just did not like that decision making. I would rather get that 11 yards, kick the field goal, and live with either making it or missing it.
Now, see, me, I'm gonna tell you like this, and Steve, if you agree with me, that man was hurt.
Well,
that man was sick.
He was sick. He was sick.
He was. You could clearly see he wasn't in the game, and that's for your coach to figure that out. Like, look, he's out there. He's giving his all. Yes, he has the physical ability, but when you criticize this man in this game, now mind you, he hasn't had a clean game yet. All their games haven't been mistake free.
No.
But you guys have figured it out during the game and still pulled it out, which shows a lot about this team and how they play games. Now, this game, you have to chalk that one up. That one, I challenge one of you guys to have a full blown flu and go play and be 100% at whatever you do.
What was interesting to me was
he did it.
Yeah, they should have ran the ball more. I thought the running game was working. I don't understand why. Like I said, knowing that he was sick, it should have been a run dominated game.
I've been saying that all year. Like, we have one of the most dominant, one of the best running backs as far as he's shifty, he can be powerful, like he can catch it out the backfield, and we don't use him enough. He's not doing screens.
Not doing enough. Yeah.
We don't use DeAndre Swift enough at all.
Exactly.
I agree on that 100% because I mean that right there. I mean, your offensive line, obviously you have a good offensive line because that tush push works every time.
Every time.
Even though you saw what's name was exposed, the center. You saw they finally caught the center for doing what he's been doing the whole time. Is like moving the ball up.
I don't know if he did it the whole time.
He came out and admit to it. He said he's been doing it. They've been warning him for a long time not to move the ball, and he's been.
And he looked down at himself. They caught him too. He had his head down.
I mean, they showed it. They showed clearly he moved it almost 3/4 of a yard. You only need fourth and 1, and he moved the ball about 3/4 of the yard. So I mean. Yeah, your offensive line though is straight. You needed to run the ball more. You need to actually do more screen passes. get the pressure off of Hurts. You know, like I said, he's not 100%.
You should have known he wasn't 100% when he came in the game.
He had far too many quarterback runs than he should have had.
There you have it.
And had far too many situations.
But that's why I say that even though he was, I understand that, but it comes down to like game management and understanding like
it's game management
going on.
Right. It's understanding.
That has nothing to do. So I'm being real. Like I love her, you know, but I'm like at that time of the game, and you have a chance to go to overtime, and all you need is 10 more yards to get into field goal range. You got to at least try for that versus just chucking one up when all you need is a field goal to go into overtime.
True,
but the key, like you mentioned about game
and a timeout left,
right?
And a timeout left.
But you mentioned about game management. Going into the game that he's sick. He got to have his energy for all 4 quarters. So it's up to you as the coach to make plays that aren't going to put so much pressure onto him, so that in the 4th quarter he is broken down and worn down, because the whole game he's having to run the ball 6, 7, 8 times.
Lathan on Facebook says the coaches set him up for failure.
Yeah,
with the play calling at the end of the game. That wasn't smart football.
Wasn't smart.
You play like that in Madden.
Yeah, I mean it just made no sense for the situation. You got to put as little pressure on him as possible, because he's not at 100%. He's not the Jalen Hurts of normal because he's sick.
Yep. And this is the reason why you guys are so good, and the reason why you guys in the 49ers are talked about so heavily. If you don't know, you guys mirror each other almost perfectly.
Yeah.
You mirror each other. You guys are the same team with different players. Mm-hmm. It's remarkable.
Quality wide receivers and a strong running game and a strong line. So you guys are multidimensional. You can do everything well if you choose to. If you choose to do everything well, you can do it all.
This is the last thing I'm gonna say, and we are so we're definitely still going to win the division, right? The Cowboys are going to lose to Miami, right? The Niners are probably going to lose. I'm not sure about this, but they may lose to Baltimore, and if they do, we may still get the number 1 seed. So
hey, that's pushing it. That's pushing it.
You would need 2 losses.
It's pushing it. Pushing it. Yeah. We would need 2 losses from them, but we've seen that from them that they can lose. They can be beaten by teams that you don't expect to beat them.
The way it looks like this is wide open. We thought was dominant, it's not dominant the way we think it is, because you guys have excellent players. The 49ers have excellent players, but your Achilles heel on your team, I would have to say what coaching is.
Coaching and cornerback. Coaching and cornerback.
Well, the corner is where you guys are hurt at. But coaching, and the 49ers have a coaching issue too.
Yeah. I mean, this league is wide open this year. We don't know who's going to win because, like I said, there's coaching issues all throughout the league. And it's quarterback issues, let's be honest. No quarterback this year has really been 100% great. Mm-hmm. Every quarterback has had turnover issues. They all have had up and down games. So, I mean, the players are going to be wide open.
Now, I want to ask you a question, Lamont. Who is a sleeper that looks like they can do something if they go unchecked and they stay healthy? What team? Lamont? Maybe we lost. There you go. Did you hear the question I asked you?
I can barely hear you guys. It's like breaking up.
Oh, okay. It has to be on your end because we have a clear connection. We have all the bars on this end. Can you hear me?
You sound like a robot. I'm gonna have to get off.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll ask you next week.
We'll check with you next week. I'm gonna ask Steve.
We got the Eagles, Giants, so that's gonna be interesting.
Who's your sleeper, Steve?
Oh, my sleeper is the Lions because they got all the pieces in play to do. You got a clear number 1 receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got a quarterback who's been to Super Bowl before, so he knows what it takes to get there.
You know who my sleeper is?
And he got a strong running back. Go ahead.
Buffalo Bills.
No, Jesus Christ.
I think the Steamboat is back.
There we go.
I think they back, Steve.
There we go again. Please somebody call in. I thought the Steamboat has died. You actually want to bring the Steamboat back again?
Hey man, they was looking pretty. pretty determined after getting rid of that offensive coordinator.
All I saw was the Cowboys stink on the road. Thank God the coach finally woke up and said, "Hey, maybe we should have somebody else run the ball other than Josh Allen. Maybe we should use our running back some." So they probably decided to use their running back against the Cowboys, which they should have been doing all year long.
Right.
And I still don't trust that coach in the playoffs. He's shown to me that he can't be trusted. So if I got the Bills, Chiefs in the playoffs, I'm still going with the Chiefs. Just because I trust Andy Reid to do the right thing. Even with their bad wide receivers, he'll do enough to win.
I got to go with the team with the quarterback and
I don't
competent wide receivers.
Nah, I don't, because let's remember, him and Stephon Diggs are on the same page. Stephon Diggs ain't having a
it looks
year.
like they've buried the hatchet, and it looks like things have aligned, and I see them high-fiving and a lot of things going on.
I got
Blow with some sports. Who's calling?
This is Lathan. What's going on, guys?
Hey, Lathan, where you calling from, sir?
South Central LA, man.
Hey.
Southern California.
Yes.
Ask him what you need to ask him, Steve.
I'm gonna let you go ahead. He's asking us who's the team you think is the sleeper? Who's the team that you think, if everything falls right, they can come up and go all the way this year? We know Eagles, Niners, we know all those teams. Who's your sleeper?
I got two. I think it's, for some strange reason, I watched the Rams kind of close. The Rams in Detroit.
Okay, well, I got Detroit.
He said the Rams and Detroit. That's interesting. I like the Rams also.
I think the Rams, right now, they're kind of coming together. They got some, because like when we beat them, they didn't even have all their players when we beat them. They didn't have their running back.
Right.
I don't even think they had the other receiver that's been coming on. So I think the Rams right now, they're playing pretty good. They're coming together. They don't look too bad right now.
They don't look too bad. They're gonna have a long road. They're gonna probably have to go through the road all the way to the Super Bowl. But Stafford,
it's kind of tough over there.
Yeah, but Stafford can do it. I mean, he's like the quarterback for the Lions. He's done it before.
Wait a minute, Steve said something good about Matthew Stafford. What's going on, Steve?
Listen to me.
I don't believe it.
I can grow. Listen to me. All I said about Stafford was I said that Rams trade, the only thing that would make that Rams trade viable is that they go all the way. Remember the conversation we had? I said when they made that trade, I said it looks like it's a great trade for the Lions. The only thing the Rams can do to win that trade was to go all the way. And if you look now, it has been a great trade for the Lions. The Lions now, for the first time, have been relevant in 30 years. And the Rams went all the way. So I can grow with that. But I can live with the Rams. Like I said, it's going to be a hard road for them because they're going to have all road games.
Yeah, I think the Eagles and the Niners are going to have the easiest road. I think we're going to end up playing the Niners in the championship game.
Yeah.
The game is going to be in San Fran. We're going to have to beat them at their house to get to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And it may not happen. From what I'm seeing with my team, I think the Rams are going to beat us. I think the Niners are going to they might end up beating us in the NFC Championship game.
Wow.
That's a big hey. That's a bigger revelation.
I'm about to ask Lamont about that next week because I don't think he will agree with you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a fan, but I'm a realist. I look at football very closely.
Yeah.
And even though I'm a diehard fan, I look at football very closely.
I haven't seen enough. Everybody's on the Brock Purdy bandwagon, and everybody loves Brock Purdy. And blah, blah, blah.
I'm a fan, but I'm also a Jalen Hurts fan.
I haven't seen Brock Purdy get the job done yet. Now, if he does it, great. But I haven't seen him yet win the big game.
I've seen Brock Purdy do it, man.
What big game have you seen him win?
He just won Cowboys. He just won that is a big game.
That's not a big game. The Cowboys, until they win in the playoffs, I have nothing nice to say about them. They've done this too many times. We've seen the Cowboys have great regular seasons, and then they stink it up in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Well, you heard that clock. That's our time. But go ahead, Lathan. Finish your thought.
I still like our chances if our coaching staff get our stuff together and stop doing a disservice to Jalen Hurts and start being smart and start calling smart football plays.
Right.
Then it might be a game by the time we get to the NFC Championship game. It could go either way. It's football, so I like our chances, but our coaching staff got to get their stuff together. That's all.
I'm gonna say
we agree with you on that.
The keys to your game is the same, basically the same mirror thing I say about the 49ers.
Run.
You guys need to run, and come out of play action.
Yeah,
come out of play action. Yeah. Jalen Hurts can pass that ball. You got A1 wide receivers on both sides. Come on now.
Man. It's our coaches, man. They have a pass philosophy, man. And the only person that had a run first philosophy was Shane Steichen. And he's in Indianapolis now. Yeah. And that's the problem with the Eagles right now.
Yeah. Well, no argument from me. Listen to me, no argument there, but I still trust you guys over the Niners now. Just because like I said, I haven't seen Brock Purdy play big in a big game. He plays big.
You know what? You know what might happen, though? What I think might happen? I think they're going to fire Brian Johnson. Mm-hmm. They're going to bring in Frank Wright as an advisor. Ooh. Mark my words. That may happen.
Even Packard gave a look like,
Glenn White said the Cowboys are an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, they are. They do. Every year they are.
And Darnell said he agreed with you.
The Cowboys, like I said, we've seen the Cowboys go 12-4, 13-3. We've seen all that stuff before.
You know what? The Cowboys are not good on grass, man. That's their problem. Well, they're not good team on grass.
Right. Unless they can get home field.
The team is good. It's Dak Prescott. Watch. He seems to stick out like a sore thumb more in the playoffs when you play these better teams.
But Dak Prescott don't play defense. How do you explain 260 yards that Bills ran on them?
I mean,
that's not Dak Prescott.
That's a good one. But what about when Brock Purdy played him? What was the score?
42-10. That's not Dak Prescott.
That's not Dak Prescott.
He gave us 7 touchdowns or 6 touchdowns.
How long was the defense on the field?
But well, I mean that's a whole. Great defense.
Never bury a defense when the offense is not putting out enough production to keep the defense healthy and keep the defense not winded.
What's that? New York Jets. And keep in mind, New York Jets, didn't they beat the Niners this year?
Okay.
Defense wins games. You can win on defense.
Yes, but your offense has to give you a chance.
I agree.
I totally agree with you, but the offense has to give you a chance. Hey, Lathan, we want you to do these picks with us because we got to get out of here.
Okay.
Ronald Tyson, he says, don't talk too quick about my Cowboys. Uh-oh.
Hey, man, Buffalo gave us the formula to beat them. And if any coaching staff sticks to that game plan, it's easy. They gave us a blueprint already. We just didn't follow it. Our coaching staff is stupid not to follow that game plan. They showed us.
And before we finish in the picks, we got to go over the office football pool at the very last thing. For
we'll do that.
At the very 2 minutes. Let's get the picks going, though.
Saints at the Rams.
The Saints at the Rams?
Yep.
Oh, the Rams they're gonna beat the Saints up.
I'm taking the Rams also.
I got the Saints. I'm gonna take the Saints in upset.
Okay. Cincinnati at the Steelers. I'm taking the Bengals.
Cincinnati.
Yep.
I'm taking the Bengals, yeah. I'll take the Bengals.
You know something? This is the type of game the Steelers win just because they're angry. The coach is angry. I got the Steelers.
Look at Steve stepping out all by himself.
I'm all by myself. I got the Steelers.
Bills going there to the Chargers. Come to L.A. I think I might go to that game. No, I'm not going to go to that game. It's going to be raining.
It's going to be raining. Bills.
It might get ugly, man. The Bills, man.
Bills going to kill them.
I'm taking the Bills also.
Bills.
The Colts go down to Atlanta to play the Falcons. I'm taking the Colts.
That's an interesting game, man.
I got Colts.
Man.
Yeah, I got Colts too. They said Jonathan Taylor might be back.
It's unanimous. We're all taking the Colts. And now we go to another game. Packers going there to Carolina to play Carolina. Coming off a big win in Carolina.
Panthers. I mean,
look at Steve.
Oh, sorry.
Look at Steve.
That was a Freudian slip of the tongue. I mean Packers. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, because it was 2 P's?
Yeah, 2 P's. Packers.
Yeah, I'll take the Packers in that one, man.
Yeah, we all got Packers.
No, don't say we all got nothing. Don't say we all got nothing.
So you think the Panthers will win 2 games in a row?
Man, I'm putting my faith in Bryce and let Bryce do his thing.
All right, well,
sometimes it takes for a young man to get a win up under him for him to
he calls that a win.
Let the wind blow and let it go.
They won 9-7. Didn't they like kick 3 field goals to win?
Well, you must understand, and I know you like kicking me, but he's a rookie, and he's a rookie. He doesn't get to call his own plays.
You know,
he has to call the plays that's called into him. He can't even kill plays yet, so it is what it is.
But do you hear how you always like talk this rookie stuff? Isn't Tommy DeVito a rookie? Wasn't that guy for the Bears a rookie who won 2 games?
So is C.J. Stroud.
And
when C.J. Stroud didn't have his wide receivers, when his wide receivers didn't start for C.J. Stroud, C.J. Stroud got 3 points.
Yeah.
He was brought down from Superman to Clark Kent without his wide receivers, where is Bryce Young is at?
Okay.
I'm not mad.
Make a decision on Bryce Young until he gets some weapons around him.
Thank you.
Make a decision on him yet, man.
Next game, Browns at the Texans.
He's the same way, man.
I agree. Who do you got for Browns?
Steve just like to kick me.
I do like to kick him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Man, I like the Browns in that game.
Yep,
man.
I'm taking the Browns also.
We got the Browns. CJ Stroud's in concussion protocol, so he may not even play. Just know he's in concussion protocol.
2 weeks in a row, he's still in concussion.
Still in there. He hasn't been.
He got. When you get whacked, you get whacked.
Yeah, he hasn't been released
for
yet.
2 weeks. That's kind of strange, but okay.
Yeah, they said
Lions going there to play the Vikings. I'm taking the Lions.
Yeah, Lions too. I got Lions.
Man, that's a division game. I'll go Lions. I'll go Lions.
And then the Commanders go down there to New York to play the Jets.
Oh, the Commanders they're gonna.
I'm taking the Jets. I'm taking the Jets.
I would just
the Jets.
Yep.
No, man, they're done, man.
Yeah,
they already packed their bags, man. They ready to go hit another island or something, man.
Yes. And Wilson's also in concussion protocol. And my most hated guy, Aaron Rodgers. Did you see that little game he's been playing? I'm going to play, and then it's like, well, I'm not 100% yet, so I'm not going to play this year. But come on, Aaron Rodgers, stop. Just be honest. You never was going to play.
Both of you guys are taking Washington. I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, you can take the Jets all you want.
Seattle goes in there to play the Titans. I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, I got Seattle too.
Yeah, I'll take Seattle.
Levis also is in hurt, so he may not play as well.
Jaguars go to play the Bucks.
I got Baker Mayfield at home. My guy.
I'll take the Bucks, man.
Yeah, I got the Bucks too.
I'm taking the Bucks also.
And also, Trevor Lawrence also is in concussion protocol. He may not play.
Cardinals go play the Bears. I'm taking the Bears.
I got the Bears.
Yeah, I'll take the Bears in that one.
Cowboys go down to play the Dolphins. Taking the Dolphins.
I got the Dolphins.
I like the Dolphins. Outside again, yeah.
Patriots go down there to Denver, my high, to play Russell Wilson. He got his name back.
You got his name back?
He's not just RW anymore.
He's not RW. He's earned right. He's there in playoff contention.
I'm taking the Broncos.
I'll take the Broncos.
I got the Broncos too.
Raiders go down there to play the Chiefs.
Oh man, that's gonna be a massacre. Give me the Chiefs.
I don't know about it being a massacre though. I think the Raiders are covered.
They're playing hard.
The Chiefs are not the same team. They're not the same team like they used to be.
Yeah, the Chiefs they drop passes all the time. All the time. Yeah, and the Raiders are playing with passion right now.
Yeah, they got to get Mahomes some receivers, man.
They got to pay receivers when you get them, though. You know, you got to pay them when you get them.
Got to pay them.
Yeah.
So everybody's taking the Chiefs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the Chiefs.
Giants go play the Eagles.
That's easy, Eagles. They're not going to lose.
Yeah, the Eagles all day, man. If they don't beat the Giants, man, there's a problem. They're not losing.
Night at home, especially night at home. It's a home game, too.
The Ravens go play in San Francisco. Be careful, Raven fans.
Man, it's going to be a toss-up game right here, man. This is going to – you know what? I see a low-scoring game in this one, man, a defensive game, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You said the Niners are at home, or who's at home?
It's at home. It's in San Fran.
Yeah.
It's in San Fran?
Yep. E40 going to be at the game.
But it's a Monday night game. So, I mean, they got plenty of time.
I would take the Niners in that game.
I'm going to take the Ravens with an upset, only because they got plenty of time to get settled in. It's a night game Monday night.
I've been going back and forth with this one. I ain't going to lie. I've been going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. The 49ers, I have to give them the nudge, But with the way that this has been going, Baltimore find a way to squeak this out. Yeah. This is the way. This is the way it's been going. This is the way it's been going.
I am worried though. They're running back Keenan Mitchell, who's been playing very well for them, looks like he's going to be out for the year.
Yeah.
So that's a huge loss in their running game. So
yeah, that was a home run hitter.
Yeah,
too.
That's a home run hitter. So that's going to be a huge loss for them. So I'm going to trust the defense. I think the Ravens defense is going to keep it within reach, and I think they're going to find. I trust Lamar Jackson more than I trust Purdy to make plays.
I just don't like the way. I don't like the way they're using Lamar this year, man. They're trying to do the same thing like they do in the Hurst, man. They're trying to make them into players that they not, man.
They're not, I know.
Just let them loose and let them play their game.
I'm agreeing with you.
I don't like the way they're not letting them. The way they got paid is by running the ball, being dynamic, and now that they paid these guys, they're trying to make them into pocket passers.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. I don't like
it, man.
Lamar Jackson is at his best when he runs as much as possible.
And man, you guys remember that game when they played the Rams? That's a Lamar Jackson I know.
Oh yeah. He was able to just run free.
That was an exciting game, man. He was running all up and down the field. He was throwing everywhere. It was crazy.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So, are you taking the Niners?
Yeah, I'm taking the Niners at home. Man.
Okay, so we got 2 Niners. I'm going to go with the upset with the Ravens. I just have a feeling that they're going
to. No, I'm going with the Ravens.
Oh, you got Ravens too? Okay, so we got 2 Ravens.
I told you I want to go with the Niners.
Okay, so we got 2 Ravens and 1 Niners.
But it's just the way this has been going.
Yes. So it's going to be an exciting week. Like I said, we got a lot of injuries, a lot of question marks. Tyreek Hill said he should be back to play. Mason Rudolph looks like he's going to start for the Steelers. Jonathan Taylor should be back. As I mentioned before, Stroud and Lawrence are still in the concussion protocol. And Will Levis had an injury, and we're not sure if he's going to start for the Titans. So there's a lot of we may have a Ryan Tannehill signing this week. Jesus, I'm like, ugh.
Oh wow!
I forgot he was still on their team.
But we got a couple weeks to go back with the office football pool because we got some people who like they won some weeks and like we need to acknowledge.
And Lathan, thank you for supporting and calling in, sir. Make sure you hit us up next week. We want to see where you at after these games.
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all have a good one, man.
You as well.
And have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Happy holidays. Take it easy, y'all.
All right, you too.
Okay. Weekly standings. Desert Eagle came in first place with a 14-2.
Yes.
And then Adrian 49, 13-3. He tied with Jay Wizzle with 13-3. Coming up at fourth.
I know.
It's me.
It was a tough week last week.
And then so on. King Z 11-5. Easy Picks 11-5. The picks are in.
Yeah.
10-5. And
it was a tough one.
Sheila.
Yes, Sheila.
She's 9-7.
9-7. Look at the week before. Go back to the week before. Who finished in first place the week before?
Sheila.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
So we had my sister pulled out last week, 2 weeks ago. So I'm gonna give a shout out to my sister Jennifer, who pulled it out. She's been going.
Congratulations.
Her picks are based upon cities she likes and teams she thinks might do well. So that is a formula for victory. And this way this season's going, anything can work. Sometimes rhyme and reason is not the best way to make a pick because who knows who's going to win these games sometimes. We've been having some frustrating weeks as far as these picks.
And season standings,
yes.
Adrian still reigns supreme at number 1.
Yeah, Adrian's a beast.
And then you come in number 2. Then King Z is number 3. Jay Wizzle's number 4. And I'm running up number 5.
How did Adrian know the Seahawks were going to beat the Eagles last week? Everybody had the Eagles except for Adrian.
He got his ESPN on.
Yeah, we got to find out how did he know, given Drew Lock was going to start, that they were going to beat the Eagles. I mean, that was
amazing.
So
amazing.
So we want to give a shout out to all you guys who have been in the office football pool. We thank you guys all year for your contributions. We down to our last 3 more weeks. Is it?
It's sad, man. If you haven't paid your fantasy football person, go out there and take care of that person. Yes. And we here from Blow the Whistle Sports, we want to wish you guys a happy holidays.
Absolutely.
And don't hurt yourself with eating too much this holidays and drink responsibly and Merry Christmas to all y'all.
We gotta say
y'all.
This year, we gotta say something. This year we got 5 NBA games and 3 football games on Christmas Day.
It's gonna be crowded.
We got crowded. I mean, we've never seen this before. Usually, at most, you might get 1 football game on Christmas Day. They're doing 3 games on Christmas Day.
Hey, they clearly trying to compete.
Listen to me. 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and 3 games on Monday.
They clearly trying to compete.
Man, so enjoy the football, everyone. And yeah, next week we're talking about some bowl games. We got some big bowl games coming up next week. We got all the national championship stuff. So
big week coming.
Yes.
Please like, subscribe, and share. And we see y'all next week. Peace out, people.
Peace.